So we have yet more evidence of Trump's downward spiral into dementia. And frankly, he wants to drag the USA and the world down with him. Recently, he was posting this. You can see it says, "Medbed Hospitals, the New Era in Healthcare." Basically, this is all fake. It was an AI video. It's like 40 some seconds. It looks to be, a Fox News report, etc. But this, I guess, is all AI, be it AI Trump, AI Fox report, EI, fake technologies, right? All this stuff, medbed hospitals, a new era in healthcare. And effectively, if you hang out in QAnon circles, which I don't, but if you do, I guess they believe that all the stuff that you see in, your favorite sci-fi and TV shows and movies is real. That's kind of who these people are. They believe in nonsense. And then this kind of people also then believe all of the lies that Trump puts out there. This was the headline here then. Trump posts, then polls bizarre AI video promoting medbed conspiracy. I hadn't even heard of this conspiracy, guys. I don't hang out in the circles of the internet. The Verge actually explained it. That says, med beds, for those that avoid the more QAnon-y corners of the internet, are an imaginary medical device that can do everything from treat asthma to regrow missing limbs to cure cancer. So basically sci-fi. And it is a real problem when Trump, right, President of the United States, is tweeting out just basically lies nonstop. And some of these lies, be it these AI videos, as you guys know, they can look pretty convincing these days. It is a dangerous world out there. And, on top of that, when Trump believes, whatever lies that he sees and then reposts it, he also hangs out with Elon Musk, who has a history of posting a bunch of fake stuff also. And put these two together, what they want to do is basically fire as many people as they can in the government and replace it with AI. This was on Fox News. I mentioned it before. Just got to mention it again. Fox News AI newsletter, Trump Musk aim for dominance. Wow. It's like, it's so hard to keep a straight face when we talk about this stuff because it's a combination of things. One, it's just completely bonkers that these, Musk, who's an addict, right, teams up with Trump, who's suffering from dementia. And basically the Trump dementia stuff, you have all of these Musk type characters who are just basically lusting for power and will lie to a gullible audience, be it, the Tesla fanboys who believe that you're all going to have 5 robots, humanoid robots, and you're going to have friends like R2-D2, and seriously, that's the crap that he says. Like when I even say it out loud, it just sounds so stupid. So Musk says all this crazy stuff, and he's like, an addict hanging out in his dorm room, that he just says that kind of stuff, and I guess people buy into it. And then he hangs out with Trump, who I guess supposedly now is believing anything and posting AI videos of technology that doesn't exist. and then their whole policy is to fire everyone and then replace you all with stuff that doesn't work. I mean, do you understand how crazy this stuff is? Now I have to explain and start the medbed thing first, because much of what's driving the markets in our economy is based on debt, who's fueling this AI economy that may or may not ever work. This is from the Wall Street Journal today. Debt is fueling the next wave of the AI boom. For reals, that's actually what we're talking about. And basically what it is, if you've been following the news lately, Trump and his buddies are trying to find a way to get their hands on TikTok, split that with China somehow. And then Oracle was a big part of this deal. Again, we're talking about TikTok. And then it turns out Oracle is making deals with OpenAI, and a lot of this is based on debt. And it's like crazy amounts of debt. Let me read a bit of this with you guys. It says here, first, OpenAI stuff. More recently, though, the ambitions of companies such as OpenAI are poised to take leverage, right, debt, leverage and mega contracts to a whole new level. Okay, great. OpenAI is laying the groundwork for a network of data centers that will cost at least $1 trillion over the next 5 years. And no one actually has this $1 trillion. You just borrow a bunch of money and get a bunch of people to sign on, and you have like these interweaving contracts based on debt. So, I borrow money to, buy this thing, I get investors and stuff like that, and the investors are gonna get debt to give into this thing. And then I'm gonna, make a promise that I'm gonna have something for someone else who also got debt. For real. As part of its push, the company signed a $300 billion 5-year contract this month, under which Oracle is set up AI computing infrastructure and lease it to OpenAI, right? And then you get to the Oracle stuff. So that's what I was saying. It's like everyone's borrowing money to get into contracts where other people are borrowing money. That's what it all boils down to. And listen to this. Analysts at KeyBank Capital Markets estimated in a recent note that Oracle would have to borrow $25 billion a year over the next 4 years. Again, I repeat, $25 billion a year in the next 4 years they got to borrow. And Oracle is already highly leveraged. The company had a long-term debt of about $82 billion at the end of August. That's a debt-to-equity ratio of 450%, okay? And then they give some comparisons. Google's debt-to-equity ratio is like 11%, Microsoft's at 33%. Generally, you don't want to be way over leveraged like Oracle, but this is the Trumpy world that we're in. And so, again, put it all together. Trump's tweeting out AI stuff, and that's kind of where the world is going. We're just selling lies to each other nonstop. Musk is like, oh, I'm all about lies. Trump's is about lies. Let's see if we can all make a bunch of money off lies. And then everyone's borrowing money to put into these ventures that don't work. Isn't this crazy? It's all a bubble. And we're all going to look back, 20 years from now, and it's like, how could we not see this crazy bubble? I'll say this. Some people did see it. The same people, some people did spot the housing crisis, 08, great financial crisis, right? Or some people did spot the bubble of the dot-com. And I mean, it doesn't take that, it's not that difficult to spot the AI bubble happening at the moment because it uses a whole bunch of energy, water that actual people need. And then you're also basing this on, we're going to fire a bunch of people to save money to pump in AI. And then Trump's the president. I mean, it isn't obvious that there's a real problem here. And then you have this also in the news. We have another bankruptcy, First Brands, which we've been warning about for a while. Looks like it ended up happening. It's like an auto parts dealer in Ohio. And this is after Tricolor Auto declared bankruptcy. And you put these together is that the question is this a canary in the coal mine where you have bankruptcies in the auto loan market? Is that going to predict other bankruptcies coming down the pipeline? Now, the auto loan one's interesting because I think there's a combination of problems here. One is there's a shadow market in USA, be it various people who are putting out loans to other people who may not have credit histories or may not be on the up and up. I'll just be frank with you guys. And there's like 100,000 of these bad loans. There's something out there. And then the auto parts one is also connected because they could be deeply affected by both the Tricolor thing and the Trump tariffs. So the dominoes will start to roll the same way with the AI stuff when everyone's borrowing and suddenly someone realizes, oh my God, I got to pay somewhere. So listen to this description of one thing regarding the Tricolor thing, and I want you to understand how people get connected. So it says, Christopher Pickens and his family said they traded in their old car and bought their new vehicle from Tricolor last month. Okay, trade in a car, get a new vehicle. I get that. Here's a quote. The vehicle we traded in, when is that going to be paid for? Oh, it's not paid for, okay. Because that's damaging my credit. I'm very angry. Okay, so you trade in someone and I guess they didn't do their part of the bargain. Court records confirm Tricolor has more than $1 billion in liabilities and between $1 and $10 billion in assets as it filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And that's what the person continues to say. Why should I pay for a vehicle that, if they're going to breach the contract and not contact anybody and leave everybody high and dry, why should we have to do the same, right? And I understand that people are upset, but any of these kind of things that ends up happening is the little person ends up, getting screwed, basically what it boils down to. And so, this is over at Moody. I'll read what they say. They say here, automotive expert Brian Moody says it's important to not miss your payments even if the dealership has gone bankrupt. This whole problem. No matter what anybody says, you should keep paying the loan, and here's why. If you got a car from one of these dealerships, Tricolor being one of them, your loan is not with the dealership. Most likely it's with a financial institution. And then the problem is, if you check out what financial institutions are doing, they're getting involved with Musk stuff, AI stuff, and Trumpy stuff, etc. And then you have this where Trump wants to make it so that there is less financial reporting and less regulation on Wall Street. And effectively what it all boils down to, if you create this, again, Trumpy world, we're all investing in a bubble based on leverage and reducing regulation so no one checks in this stuff. And ultimately, it's all going to come crashing down. I'm telling you, it's a house of cards. It's obvious. You can see it happening. And this week is key because we may not be going in a government shutdown. I keep seeing news about this stuff. I think it's Tuesday at midnight. So I mean, we're going to find out real soon what's going to happen here. And then you've got the Fed worrying about inflation right here. Cleveland's Fed's Hammock warns challenging time amid inflation worries. Of course, I mean, we all do. Trump says that we beat inflation already, and I guess according to Trump, it's zero. And I guess we, when I go to the store, I guess the store pays me to come there, right? According to Trump, because things are so good, like the store pays me. But you guys know the reality when you go to the store. It's not like that. You're just like, oh my God, how can I, keep up with the cost of stuff? Because like changes will, price changes will happen overnight, as you guys know. And then you got Trump threatening to fire lots of federal workers. It is a just chaotic time right now. And I know we haven't even been through a year yet of this stuff, but I do want to keep you updated. And I also just want to tell you guys flatly, I'm happy to have you in the community. It's great to be able to talk about each other. I think we have the best community on the internet. For those of you who hang out community and converse with people in the comments, you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about. We got a great community, and it matters because when you see all the stuff happening daily on a basis that where Trump just does nonstop stuff, the news seems more and more chaotic. Seems like more people are fighting each other. You just get upset and be like, why can't we just be normal? why can't we just have a boring government, right? I mean, seriously, because that's what you want. You don't want to ever be honestly talking about the government nonstop of like, what stupid crap are they doing today? You just want your roads to work, your television to work, right? Your power to be affordable, your housing to be affordable. Like, you just want things to function so you can go about your life and take care of your family. But on a daily basis, like, people are worried about their jobs, worried about the costs. And then the really big money is figuring out ways to steal your retirement, kill the economy. It's extremely frustrating. So I'm trying my best to keep everyone informed about, hey, this is what's going on, and you do need to pay attention to stuff. Don't ignore this stuff. The same way that one guy got screwed, say, with the auto dealership thing. I mean, that's why we want to track this thing as a whole, because you want a system that is fair for everyone, not just a system that's built to benefit people like Elon Musk. So that's my thoughts on this stuff. Please be careful out there, and I'll catch you on the next video.